Good evening, America, and happy Monday. Welcome to the latest edition of Just the News, No Noise. I'm your host, John Solomon, reporting to you, as always, from the nation's capital here in Washington, D.C. A quick programming note before we get started. My co-host, Amanda Head, well, she's on White House pool duty today. You probably saw her asking questions of the president a short while ago. She'll hopefully be back before the end of the show, but until then, I'm going to be taking you through the great lineup of guests we have for you tonight, and we do have a good one. But let's start with some headlines. President Trump, who gave some good news to farmers today, and he did it all while protecting American economic interests, too. He announced a $12 billion bailout for farmers struggling with the impact of his tariffs and that transition between the unfair trading practices of the past and the future, where new markets are opened up to those farmers. The president made the announcement at a roundtable meeting with his cabinet at the White House, and it's being reported that $11 billion will go to crop farmers as part of the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program, while the remaining $1 billion will cover other crops. President Trump had farmers at the roundtable meetings today, and one of them explained what this program will mean for him. Take a listen.
First off, from me, I want to say thank you for this bridge payment. It's Christmas early for farmers. I want my 4-month-old daughter to have an opportunity. And what you're doing here in D.C. is working. You have a backbone to stand up to other countries for trade. You're getting things done. Tax provisions. I'll be able to potentially pass on a farm to my children because of you.
I'll be able to pass on my farm to my children. What a powerful statement. We'll keep you up to date on all of those developments. It's really important to understand that what's going on here is that these payments are a bridge between the past, where farmers were constantly in an unfair trade position, in the future, where President Trump has secured these new trade deals, and we'll be covering that in and out over the next several months here at Just the News and Real America's Voice. All right, we also have some major news to get to you regarding the D.C. pipe bomb investigation. Chairman Barry Loudermilk of the House Judiciary Subcommittee that's investigating January 6th asked the witness who first discovered the pipe bomb outside the Republican National Committee to appear for a transcribed interview with the subcommittee later this month. The witness, who later publicly identified herself as Karen Younger, said she found the pipe bomb in an alleyway while doing laundry on the day of the Capitol riot. Just the News previously reported on that. And Younger's account, well, it conflicts with some of the FBI's timeline, which shows the bomb was planted the night before. Despite alerting law enforcement to the bomb, the FBI also did not interview Younger until 5 days after the incident. Now, that's the old FBI, the Chris Wray FBI, not the Kash Patel FBI. But we're going to be covering that. The Congress has wanted to talk to this woman for some time. They're escalating the pressure. We're going to keep you up to speed on that. Now, to kick off the show tonight, earlier today, I had a chance to sit down with Illinois Congresswoman Mary Miller. She's a farmer. She comes from a part of Illinois that's heavy on farms. She had a lot of reaction to what President Trump did today, as well as the renewed pressure to use the purse strings of the United States government to force change in blue states like Illinois, which want to resist Donald Trump's every wish and want. Listen to what we talked about. All right, folks, we got a perfect start to the show. Joining us from the great state of Illinois, where ground zero for a lot of these fights are, Congresswoman Mary Miller. Congresswoman, great to have you on the show.
Well, thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to highlight how blue states are thwarting President Trump's efforts to make America great again.
Yeah, they're thwarting that. They're also thwarting the will of the American people. Americans want common sense back in government, but these blue states keep tugging back. Why do you think that is?
So Barack Obama made the statement that his dream was to fundamentally transform the country. I think they hate our country and they want a socialist country, Marxist country, and where 0.5% of the people end up thriving and everybody else are their minions. And, Illinois is doing everything to keep it from being a place where the citizens can prosper and flourish.
Yeah. There are been lots of frustrations among Republicans on how to deal with it, but I think there seems to be a growing consensus that the most powerful tool that Congress and the president has is the power of the purse. If blue states want to do crazy things, it's going to come at the expense of their tax dollars going forward. Does that seem to have a future, and does it seem to be something that might get the attention of blue states and blue cities?
Well, it better because we're going to use it. I'm on the House Agriculture Committee, and I fought very hard to ensure that illegals are not included in SNAP benefits. And now the state of Illinois, Governor Pritzker refuses to cooperate with the USDA and release the eligibility rolls for SNAP. And they're going to have their benefits cut off, and he can explain it to the citizens in Illinois. But American people have had it. They know that they've been abused. And they want what President Trump is trying to do, and that is transparency in the government and accountability.
Why do you think a governor wouldn't want to let the people who pay SNAP benefits, the federal government, see what's going on there? What are they trying to hide?
Well, we're a destination state for every rotten thing. Obviously, where for illegals to come here and sign up for every single kind of benefit. We've spent billions of dollars that we don't have on the health care for illegals, and I'm certain that they're all signed up for SNAP benefits as well. And this is all about elections. It's about getting their votes.
Yeah, it is, right? And then I guess at the end of the day, apportionment too, right? Because every illegal that's counted ultimately helps set the formulas for federal funding, for representation. Has that been the long game that Democrats have played, to use illegal immigration to hijack apportionment?
Absolutely. And we lost one district. Last time, I kind of think we should have lost two. But, there again, in light of voter rolls, if they won't be transparent and they won't tend to the voter rolls and make sure ineligible people, dead people, and illegals are not on there, they can have their federal funding withdrawn to run the elections.
Yeah, it's a simple equation, and sometimes simplicity makes things happen in politics. Just to the north of Illinois, a little bit to the north, Minnesota has given us a really profound example. We began reporting at it here at Just the News last August of 2024, when Governor Walz was named the VP. We started looking at all of this food fraud and autism fraud that was in the Somali immigrant community. It brings two forces together to show how they're working. You've got an immigrant community, some with illegal immigrants in it, and the constant waste, fraud, and abuse that government often allows itself because it's so poorly managed. Is there any blowback? Does the magnitude of the Minnesota welfare scandal perhaps have some people in Illinois thinking that probably happened here too?
Yes, the regular citizens in here know that they're being abused. They don't trust J.B. Pritzker. They actually can't stand him. And I just want people to be encouraged. You have to go out and vote in the midterms. For example, Illinois is a red state if we can get people to come out and vote. But I think it will really help for us to force states to clean up their voter rolls and make sure only eligible people, that means U.S. citizens, are included. And it doesn't help for people just to show a voter ID, because states like Illinois, Minnesota, New York, California, they are issuing driver's licenses to people and also signing them up to vote. So we need to have proof of citizenship, and they need to be taken off the voter rolls. And people that are involved in election fraud should have very serious consequences.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The SAVE Act, a big part of that, obviously, that's the signature House legislation that makes sure that citizenship is checked before someone registers or votes in America. Your colleagues in the Senate sometimes have a hard time getting to that 60 vote threshold. You personally, do you think it's time to get rid of the filibuster, or do you like the filibuster in the Senate?
I think it is time to get rid of it, but I don't think we have the votes to get rid of it. We have frauds on our side, and actually people need to pay more attention to primary elections. I said we should start nicknaming the primary elections Fire the Frauds, and people need to find out who their representatives are and how they're representing them. It's really a shame. Yes, we do have a narrow majority both in the House and the Senate, and I hate it that I think a lot of times Mike Johnson, I think he has the worst job in the country, the hardest job. He takes the rap for not getting things done as fast as people want him to. But the fact is that he doesn't have the votes a lot of times. We don't have true conservatives on our side, and people need to get out to vote in the primary.
I think Fire the Frauds would be one heck of a TV series. I have a funny feeling that would be very, very popular. I want to turn to something that's at hand, the enhanced Obamacare subsidies, which are the ones that were thrown in and made insurance companies rich during COVID, though they didn't really bring a whole lot more benefit to everyday citizens. They're expiring. Is this a moment where Republicans, for the first time, put a really remarkable alternative to Obamacare on the table?
Yeah, it's definitely a moment. And I think it's interesting when the Democrats do something, how they always name it the opposite of what it is. But it's definitely the Unaffordable Care Act. It's driven healthcare prices and that for the American citizen, for the American taxpayer up. And it's greatly enriched the insurance companies. And there's so much fraud involved there also. But it is our moment. And I don't think extending the subsidies is like putting a Band-Aid on that actually has the adhesive worn out. I mean, it is not a fix to extend the subsidies for now. We need true reform that will bring prices down for the American consumer.
Yeah, and some of that already because of the good work of Republicans, President Trump, these agreements with the pharmaceutical companies. People are going to start to feel that when they go to the next time they go to the pharmacy, right? There's some real changes ahead that Republicans have achieved even before this next debate.
Yeah. President Trump has gotten so much done for the country, just like his first term. He's fulfilling his promises. It's so huge to secure the border, the deportations. Deregulation is huge. It's going to drive prices down for houses, for vehicles, for energy. He's doing great work for the American people.
Yeah, it is really remarkable. One piece of that healthcare equation are these middlemen who take a lot of money but don't bring any benefit to me or you or any consumer. Someone like the pharmaceutical benefit managers. Are they some of those that might get extracted out of the healthcare system through good legislation?
Well, they should, and we need, fair pricing for all, whether it's the pharmacies, small or big, and we need more competition, I believe.
Yeah, no doubt about it. More competition always seems to improve things. Real quickly before I let you go, because you live on a farm, you have a lot of great farmers in your district. President Trump today putting some important short-term aid to America's farmers who've been wronged by the sort of unfair trade practices of decades. Your reaction to the president's plan today?
Well, we're grateful. President Trump cares deeply about the American family farm, and this is a short-term help. But long-term, we need to bring, which is what he's doing, bringing inflation costs down. When Joe Biden shut down American energy, it caused great inflation on the farm and increased the cost to put a crop in. Also, Joe Biden had a non-existent trade policy, and President Trump has been so active to try to negotiate better trade deals for us and open up new markets, which will help us more in the long term.
Yeah, some of these trade deals have some huge new opportunities for American farmers. Very exciting time in the farm industry once we get through this sort of rebalancing moment. Congresswoman, as always, a great honor to have you on the show. We always learn a lot when you come on. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Keep up the great work.
Yeah. Thank you. You as well. Thanks for a great conversation. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. More right after these messages. Hey, folks, you might be wondering, when's the right time to start adding collagen to my diet? How about today? Collagen production starts to dwindle in your 20s, and by the time you hit your 50s like me, it's decreased, and it contributes to wrinkles, sagging skin, and joint discomfort. Now, Native Path Collagen can help. It's packed with only type 1 and 3 collagen fibers, the ones your body needs most for healthy joints, for healthy skin, bones, hair, nails, and also, believe it or not, your gut. Plus, it's third-party tested for purity and with no fillers, no additives, and no artificial junk. That's important to me. 2 scoops a day of Native Path delivers 18 grams of protein. Mix it into your coffee, your tea, your soup, or any drink. It's completely flavorless and easy to use. Right now, you can get a special bundle deal at the fraction of the retail price. Plus, you're going to get free shipping. Available at getnativepath.com/justnews. That's getnativepath.com/justnews. With over 4 million jars sold, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 365-day money-back guarantee, This is your moment to take control of aging before symptoms get worse. So go to getnativepath.com/justnews right now. Supplies are limited and demand is surging. That's getnativepath.com/justnews.